What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the rumors going around on Fable, and this comes from Andy Robinson of Video Games Chronicle. He talked about actually kind of the lineup of Xbox games. It's not too much new, but I figured, we'd go through it, see what he's got to say. This is just a rumor, so, if you don't want to believe it, that's totally cool. You don't have to, but if it is true, it is. So basically, he talked about, again, the upcoming Xbox kind of releases, starting with Fable and talking about how Fable is still miles away. I think the nearest one for them are Hellblade and probably Avowed. That's the next big thing for them that they'll be talking about, from my understanding. Those two are the closest. Then he goes to talk about Perfect Dark and Fable. It's still pretty stunning that Fable is still miles away. Perfect Dark is not close. Everwild is not close. Everything looks so great on paper, and it's just the games are not quite ready yet. He also said that the new Fable game had only recently entered full production. And then also Jordan Midler says that based on conversations he's had, there's a lot of questions about the direction of the game. I'm not sure if you made an original Fable-style game now, it would be what people want. The term Witcher-like was thrown about a lot to me, which I feel will piss people off that like the original Fable. And that's all there was. So let's talk about this Fable thing first. It's not that surprising to me that it's still super far away. I guess that last part is really the new information in terms of Witcher versus, not Witcher versus what Fable is. I'm actually kind of on the boat of, if you're going to make a Fable game, well, when you make any game in a franchise, I think it's got to feel connected to the franchise. So I think making a Fable game that doesn't feel like a Fable game is probably the wrong move. So I don't really understand the first part of his statement where he said, he doesn't know if a modern day Fable game would really work. Isn't this the game, though, that they've talked about kind of updating it for modern audiences? That whole modern audience quote that movies say, that games say, it's sometimes a kiss of death. It's not something I ever like to hear. I'm pretty sure that was said about this Fable game in maybe a job description or something. So that's always worried me a little. I'm very excited for this Fable game, though. It's actually my most anticipated Xbox upcoming release if you just kind of condense it to Xbox. So I do hope it's good. But I think a lot of people adore the heck out of at least Fable 1 and 2, right? 3, many people say kind of dropped the ball. I think 1 and 2 is really, really loved. So yeah, I love The Witcher. I think a lot of people love The Witcher. But if you're making a Fable game, to have, I guess, Witcher influences in terms of maybe how the world works, whatever. Although Fable's world was pretty cool as well. I don't know. I don't necessarily know what all that stuff is talking about, but I just hope it feels like a Fable game, because I do agree with the second part. If it doesn't feel like a Fable game, if it's a Witcher game, well, the fans of Fable, that doesn't really make too much sense, at least to me. The rest of it, not all that shocking. Again, not all that much new. Hellblade has always been the one, the insiders have kind of talked about that could even maybe sneak into this year, right? It could be late 2023. Probably, if not, though, it'd be somewhere in the early 2024. And then Avowed wouldn't really be all that far behind it. So I imagine in the next year, right, by maybe like March, April of next year, we could potentially have both Hellblade and Avowed. And then obviously the Perfect Dark thing as well. Everwild, there's been all those rumors of canceled, and then they kind of rebooted it and all that stuff. So yeah, Xbox has a lot. They have a ton. They just need to have them come out. That's kind of what they said, and I think that's what's been said about Xbox for probably the last 2 to 4 years, right? You got so much coming, and then even after, right, you got things like Indiana Jones, all of this stuff, and it could be really good, and it can really help Xbox. They just have to release, and they have to be good quality when they come out. So both those things have to happen at the same time. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.